Hello everyone, can you hear me properly? Yes, okay. I see that my internet connection is not very good, so we'll see how it goes today. Please join your hand in front of your heart and bow. So hello everyone, it's nice to see you again. Hello. We are taking some time out to know a little bit more about the Dharma. I'm having a technical problem. All right. The Dharma, the Buddha's teachings, is no longer there to teach us. So we have left some textbook and some interpretations from different teachers according to their own practice. So this is an invitation for you to practice yourself and discover the same truth as the Buddha discovered. We can rely on his words and practice according to the four foundations of mindfulness. Practice virtue, concentration, wisdom, develop right understanding and discover for ourselves. Gain faith and the doubt regarding the teachings that with practice just faded away because we can see for ourselves directly. And when we practice stillness, we take some moments out of this way of living that is often goal oriented. We are driven to get things done, to get new things, to get things different, to work things out, to solve problems, or trying to find some activities in order to feel less depressed, less miserable, to forget that we feel inadequate, rejected, not good enough. And by sitting and bringing mindfulness into the body, we start to slow down this drive, this kind of energy of doing, kind of frenziness that has consequence as mind activity, as emotions. So when we sit, there is nothing to do with our hands, nothing to grab, nothing to see. Maybe some visions will occur in the mind's eye. So it's an invitation to calm down the body, calm down the mind. And inviting just to watch for a moment. Watching what? What's arising, passing away and dissolving. And then it brings another perspective of the, let's say, human experience. We start to realize what's coming up, bubbling up into the body as tactile sensations, into the mind as thought, ideas, conceptualization, projection into future memories, some hearing, still maybe a bit of tasting, and smelling. This is an invitation also to connect to the breath as an anchor for the mind. And there are two roads that we can choose. We can try to collect the mind for a short time, developing samadhi, putting the mind, training the mind to stay with the breath, for example, for a short while, until the breath and the mind kind of, it feels like they are glued together. And yes, when it happens, some mind kind of mental factors and mind activities have disappeared. So it's a mind with a very different quality. We can train that kind of mind to make it stable, malleable, and either keeping developing samadhi or coming out of samadhi and starting insight practice. Just noting whatever arises in the six sense doors, and then look at them, those phenomena, as impermanent and satisfactory and not self. Or we can start already insight practice directly. And the kind of knowledge that arises from insight practice, it's the knowledge of mind and matter. So, sorry, you will realize what is body and what is mind, how mind can influence the body, the knowledge of arising and passing away of all phenomena, meaning that thought will come and go. Sometimes they will stick when there is any kind of desire, craving. The mind will keep proliferating, elaborating, fabricating, fashioning future events, imagining. All right, perceptions, they come and go. Body sensations, all kinds of sense consciousness, they come and go. Then by doing this noting over and over again, you will see this continuous arising and passing away. Nothing lasts for even for a short moment. And during insight practice, the mind is very different than uh, in samadhi, where we can enjoy well, or really have a kind of stable infinite consciousness, or infinite space, or infinite nothingness. When we do insight practice, we really have this insight into impermanence of sense consciousness. It comes and goes. I hear something, I see something in the mind, an image. I feel something in the body. I feel the breath. And at some point, there is the knowledge of suffering, because it's an flux of coming and going, never ending. It comes naturally through the practice itself. Even pleasant feeling, they come and go. They are dukkha, impermanent. And this is really kind of a hard moment, or a strong insight, or sometimes when there is still a strong desire for sensuality, the mind doesn't want to go there, doesn't want to realize that. Because then what? If everything is suffering, if there is suffering in every phenomena, you do realize that human experience is nothing else than all of these things coming and going. So this is maybe when you start to be depressed a little bit about life. What's the point to live? Keep living. This, everything is unsatisfactory. Whatever I eat, whatever I see, whatever I touch, it doesn't last for a second. Insight practice will really show you that. You think that when you are in a normal, when you are not instructed in the Dhamma, when you do not meditate, you feel like things or emotion kind of last. But then insight practice will bring you, say, okay, there is this illusion of compactness, of continuity. But when the mind is very sharp and really attend to what's going on at every milliseconds, you realize that the it's really short mind consciousness moments, and it changed from all the senses. So you cannot grasp anything or make it anything last. And in some, for people who develop only samadhi, there is also this illusion of kind of, stable stuff, a kind of stable substratum consciousness that hold everything. But then there is maybe the lack of insight that when it stops, it stops. That's, yeah, all the 5, 6 sense consciousness take over again. So this kind of depressed stage of insight can even arise actually in people who do not meditate. I don't know if it's for you, but or for people who are used to insight practice, they see this phase in people when they stop having what they want, and they have time somehow to reflect on their life, and they realize, okay, this I had, this I had, da, 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 and still I'm unhappy. So there is then this projection of, oh yeah, if I had that, if I would have that, then I would be happy. If the conditions were different, I would be happy. If I would have a better relationship, if I would have that job, and then the mind starts to, well, it's not the mind, it's the desire and the not knowing that actually everything comes and goes and is inherently somehow um, unsatisfactory. So then what? Then what? Then there is this maybe because of this strong suffering arising, craving, desire for non-existence, right? And okay, I would rather be dead than to live this life of constant insatisfaction, unpredictability, which is uncontrollable, and all suffering. And then more suffering arises. But then the teacher, the Dharma teacher, will tell you, keep going with the practice. Keep going. There is this phase. This is normal. This is the misery, the disgust for all phenomena. So you have to keep practicing, and then you will have the knowledge of equanimity of all formations. Somehow the mind will recoil from everything. No, the normal um, the uninstructed worldling, I would say, uh, would I lost my train of thoughts about that. Erased. Okay. So the knowledge of equanimity about all formation, that the mind, recoil from any phenomena. It's kind of, so there is this recognition that they are all, anything that happen is really felt as, and the Buddha uses that word barb, alien, foreign, disgusting, and so on. Very strong words, actually. So the mind, yes, recoil, and then start to realize that the cessation of such phenomena are actually peace. The non-occurrence, non-manifestation, non-arising. And this is when the mind starts to actually turns towards or try to define, try to lean towards liberation. It starts to see that Nibbana, the end of all craving, the end of, I would say, all arising, is actually peaceful. And this is how by realizing that the arrest or extinguishment is actually peace. And then if you continue with the insight practice, you might attain Nibbana. And then, for the first path, and then for stream entry, and then come out again. And then realize that it was that. Yes, I wanted to say that for the normal worldling, there is, okay, this kind of disenchantment, but then because there is no practice or not hearing the Dhamma, not knowing about this possibility, not knowing about the cycle of rebirth, not knowing that what is the origin of suffering, what is the end of suffering, then what would happen? And I don't know, more thoughts, more actions, good and bad deeds, different kind of karma, inheriting this karma, more rebirth, not knowing the way out of suffering. Keep going, keep searching here and there, keep trying to control the conditions, maybe having momentary peace when conditions are right. When there is joy or agreeable feeling, So this is really a path of disenchantment, of dispassion. Very, very hard to just understand with the mind and to know how do I live this passion, disenchantment in this world that offers, that says, that praise actually sensual desires, development of skill, self improvement, and so on. So, by the practice, you do just simple things and you look at form. So there is an object, there is the eye, and with contact there is eye consciousness. Realizing eye consciousness is there, seeing is there. And then because of the seeing, again, feeling will arise. And according to this feeling, pleasant or unpleasant, then usually it doesn't stop at seeing. Then there is the, oh, ooh, what is it for? Can I drink from it? Yeah, oh, the beautiful comes from where? And so on. And, all right. And the invitation is to see seeing as seeing and kind of stop there. Not, desiring, wanting. Oh, this is ugly. I don't want this to in my house as decoration. Or, of course, this is just simple desire, but just when you drive, when you drive in certain areas, of course your eyes just scan and then sometimes see, oh, I don't know, nice area, nice sightseeing, beautiful houses or whatever, and then wow, that's nice neighborhood and nice house and so on. So you see that it's not only seeing. And this is everything with clothes, everything regarding the senses. Also reading and exciting the mind anyway. And the more we develop the practice also, it can be very subtle, just, just wanting to sit in meditation and no longer participate in the world. my time of peace. And what if you cannot sit because this and this and this? Then you start to be, hatred arises, not wanting to be disturbed in meditation, wanting to be at peace. So, you note all of these things. Mhm. And if you develop samadhi, then you can, not being satisfied for the uh, form absorption, the rupa jhanas. You want formless rupa jhanas, and you want only formless. You have the desire for formless state. You have this desire to no longer feel the gross body. So one has to recognize all of this subtle attachment and seeing them impermanence, not self-suffering. So you map all of this area. It's mapped, okay. And then there is nothing left at all. Nothing satisfactory. Not in the body. Having that body can bring actually a lot of pleasure. And this is the danger. This is the danger. Because it can be very satisfactory, even in meditation. First jhana, second jhana, full of rapture, full of body bliss. And even nice sightseeing, beautiful things. Even the satisfaction of having a quite energetic body brings lots of pleasure. Having good friends, good company, enjoying like-minded people. Yes. Enjoying calmness in a sunny Sunday. Yes. But the mind sense that. Wants to keep it a little bit longer. Want to linger in that. Just stay with me. All right, kind of. It's very subtle, but kind of retaining. So when that happens, there is a kind of, enchantment, kind of fascination. That's life. We want more of those moments, of feeling, even connected together. But when they end, of course, then, let's do that next week again. So we try to recreate. This is where the fashioning occurs. You see? And then this fabrication I'm talking about, this formation, they arise from this desire, where we don't see the fault in that, actually. But this is where we want to recreate again. So we will try to actually do phone call and recreate, coming together, same place, same area, maybe another place, bigger, I don't know. And then it's never ending. It's just fulfilling desires. Even when it looks wholesome, we have also to give up wholesome deeds, wholesome karma at some point. All right. I'm not saying that you have to stop doing wholesome deeds. This is not what I'm saying. We need that. We need to abandon all bad karma, kind of replacing with good deeds. Generosity cultivation, not harming, not lying, not killing, all the precepts. And then, at some point when it's major, realizing that even doing good deeds, it's still karma making. This karma making will bring, you know, the round of samsara. So you cannot abandon. Yeah, well, it's a bit tricky. You cannot say, okay, from now on, I stop doing karma. I stop doing. I would sit all day long. No bad karma, only good karma. Doing. And then, yeah. So I decide that. But you will have to go and have lunch, right? And then as soon as you will start to eat, if your mind is not free from defilement, then yeah, if you enjoy food or desire this and that, then you will make karma anyway. So insight practice for foundations of mindfulness. And you will see that maybe just by hearing, listening, that it's the path of dispassion, of disenchantment, of extinguishment. How the chitta, the mind, react to that. Maybe trying to find another way, another teacher. And she might be wrong. There is still consciousness, I don't know, in Nibbana, any kind of formless stuff, substratum. There will still be some kind of knowing, universal knowing, or any kind of experience. Then the mind will try to find something to still grasp or hold or conceptualize. That's okay. Realize that. And then say, okay, insight practice, because you know where somehow when you are the kind of knowledge that will be acquired through the path. So you say, okay, let's develop samadhi first. And then you might spend some really long time there. It was offered to me a text from Mahabua, Akaya Mahabua, who was an eminent monk. It's said, even he says that he was an errant, still living not long time ago. In the 2010, he was still living. And he was a disciple, a student of Akaya Mun, M-U-N. And he had a vision. He had a vision in meditation, and he was quite confident about his vision, predicting the future. because he had some vision, and they actually occurred. And so he knew that from the moment he had that vision, that he would spend nine years before attaining Arahantship. So he knew, and then after a while, it was still not. He calculated 9 years, and he said, "Okay, that's very strange because 9 years are over, and still, usually my visions were quite right." So he went to another monk and he explained, and the monk said, "Oh, but you made a mistake in your calculation. You still have, because I don't know, there are two different calendar." And he say, "You still have 7 months before the ninth years is over." So good. Let's meditate. And it was rentless, meaning that he did uh, lots of meditation, insight practice, trying to uproot the last bits of ignorance. And he said that he was really applying lots of effort in those final months because he realized how much time he had lost in samadhi. He wrote himself, "I lost 5 years in just samadhi, not wanting to do the insight practice." This is how the mind, not the mind, but the defilements of the mind, makes you not realize that you still want to be something. You still want to become formless consciousness. But of course, he said afterwards that those 5 years of samadhi, when he it trained him actually to really have a very stable mind, very sharp mindfulness and inquiry mind, to practice then insight. So his insight was very, very strong and precise, and his vision was correct. He became an arahant. You can still watch. There are some videos of him when he talk about it. That moment of collapse. This is when, for those who have experienced, went through Nibbanas, it depends on the people, but it's really a collapse of the worlds, and then the worlds reappear, and then that something is different. That there are some feathers are actually gone. It takes sometimes, yeah, that's different. And then imagine you realize it. And after a while, 1 hour, 2 hours, yeah, 1 week, then okay, suffering is gone. Mind is liberated. And then whatever you do, whatever is coming at you, mind keeps being liberated. So that's the path, that's the method. And you will see in your practice when you say, oh yeah, I rather develop samadhi, and you will see for how much you postpone doing inside practice. But one has also to realize, to know what we want. If we just want some momentary release from suffering, yeah, samadhi is fine. But we are talking about awakening and enlightenment, the end of suffering, or at least entering stream entry, entering the stream, so that you are on your way out of the cycle of rebirth. So it might sound like very enigmatic, dogmatic, or so on. It's an invitation. You do the work. You do the work. And at some point, yes, the practice will lead the mind towards seeing Nibbana as really liberation, as really peaceful. And then there is no longer doubt. There is no longer doubt. You will understand what there is this uh, analogy, this simile of the stream entry. Because you will notice that when you, after stream entry, yes, your life, let's say, so there will be faith in the Buddha's teachings, and also you will see that you will be kind of conducted towards uh, more and more practice and more understanding. You will realize what is also what has been removed, and whatever you do, it won't come back. It doesn't come back. Once you've realized not self to that degree of stream entry, it can't reverse back to when you thought that when you didn't see this discontinuity into in your experience, as you believe that there is a kind of person, solid entity that goes from birth to death. I am this. You kind of identify with the body, with identity, with what you do. And this is also when the thoughts or those formations are fully integrated as kind of me, mine, myself, my point of view. And there is really a before and after, because some things have been removed from your life. This is, there is, let's say, how opinions and views are kind of very solid, very important. And this is what drives you, drives your life, actually. And this is always opposition between views, opinions, or okay, you find like-minded people. Oh, okay, yeah, we are like, and those governs actually what you do, what you think, what you say. But with the practice, you start to see as them as kind of mind object. Of course, they still at some point have very magnetic, attractive kind of power, and they keep proliferating in your mind, developing, growing, swelling. But then maybe you catch yourself up and start to see, okay, thinking, fashioning, fabricating, yeah, come back to the body. So they lose their grip, they lose their solidity. More and more until they kind of dry up. Or you develop the practice, and at some point, you catch yourself at the arising. Okay, I'm starting to project into the future. Come back. So there is a kind of they were very like I'm this, my opinion, my views, my stuff, my situation, my life, my past. And then a practice, inside practice, meditation practice, you will realize, oh, this solid thing is actually, hmm, and it likes to, it likes to touch. It likes to feel, to estimate, okay, to maybe if if it likes it, because the mind kind of touches, feel sensation and starts to determine, and oh, I like it, all right. Oh, nee. But then, and then with the practice, there, this kind of grasping loses. So you recognize, okay, the activity of the mind like this. It likes to touch, okay, and then at some point, it's kind of stay whole open, still, still sensitive, still sensitive, still activity, yeah, okay. Different senses, different consciousness, still taste, still touching, still being sensitive, but yeah, all right. Let's relax. Okay. And if you keep going through the inside practice, you will experience um, the cessation of consciousness. And then reemerge with consciousness and realize how peaceful that was. No feeling of perception. And actually, by developing the jhana, you can also go to nirodha samapatti, where there is no longer perception and feeling at all. And so you have a kind of kind of experience of how it is to even that non-occurring, let's say. So I wish you all to have the possibility to practice, to discover all of that for yourself. I wish you also a lot of courage when you are hitting those hard moments, when you have the knowledge of disgust, of misery. And if when it happens, there is this, if you can remember just those, that it's the moment where you have to bring yourself back and say, okay, keep looking, keep investigating. I know that there is behind that very hard wall, there is the equanimity of formation, and there is the direct path to liberation. Talk about those periods with other meditation practitioners, or remember that teaching. Keep going. Take some time off, maybe a bit of metta, and say, okay, I know what has to be done. This is now when I have to bring energy back, courage, being hateful, and gain victory. This is the words from Mahabua, Akaya Mahabua, victory over oneself. So that was today's teaching. Thank you for your attention. Bye.